What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. It's Sunday, May 16th, a little after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. This is part two of the Sunday stock scan. The first time I show up, I tried to start it early. I got everything up, the charts, all the websites, Streamlabs. I click live, no audio. So I had to reboot and start up my computer. And then I load up the charts, and Street Smart Edge, the charts didn't want to reload. So I was thinking, like, man, are all signs pointing to like no scan in video tonight? What's going on? So now that I shut down Street Smart Edge, reopened it, it's all working fine. We can start the video and begin. Oh my goodness. Spent like an hour trying to get everything going. But now that we got all that behind us, let's push forward. So what we do, the Sunday stock scan, we try to make a weekly watch list. We go over what happened last week, go over a bunch of stocks that were in play last week, and determine if we want to keep those stocks on watch going into the next week. Formulating a back burner playbook like watch list. Because Monday morning, we're going to have stocks gap up. Let's say none of them work out. We need a backup watch list to fall back onto. Am I right? So let me settle down a little bit. I'm still a little irritated that everything just crashed and went wrong on me when I tried starting this up. But to kick things off, I thought I'd show you this, guys, real quick. I'm part of this group, Davey Day Trader Global on Facebook. I'm a part of a lot of communities on Facebook. This is just one of them. Another one like Wall Street Bets. I want to follow all of these different groups because I want to see what everybody's talking about. This is a private group, but there's 68,000 members in this community. And all I keep hearing everybody talk about is Dogecoin and Bitcoin. So we all know that's where all the volume has been. But I feel like volume's going to come back into the market. Everything's going to be fine. It's just a phase. People got all excited for Dogecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to fizzle out. And while I'm bringing this up, I seen this guy in here comment in the group, and there's always a bunch of people either trying to pump something, and I hear people are still talking about GameStop and AMC. So this person says, if you aren't holding AMC, GME, and Cardano, what are you even doing with your life? And I had to go off and I had to comment on this. Taking advantage of all the other opportunities the stock market gives us daily. Not trying to tie up my money with a gamble. Isn't the whole point of the stock market is to have your money work for you? Break free and learn this game, and you will honestly be amazed how much opportunity is in the market. And then he comments back, I have an account to play with, an account to get dividends, and an account for lotto tickets. So you have an account to play with, you have an account for dividends, and you have an account for lotto tickets. This is the type of people we're going up against, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we call dumb money. So what do we like doing here? We like taking dumb people's money, right? So the more we learn this game, we show up, we have a game plan. We're not here to just gamble. We don't look at this as a big slot machine, lotto ticket. We have a process and a routine. We know how to look at charts. We patiently wait for our opportunities and our plays. We take these people their money. We do. So we had GameStop, AMC, and even Cost. They popped up last week. And anytime we have those types of stocks pop up, you best believe it's going to get all the bag holders excited. So right here, GameStop last week, it lifted from 140 all the way up to 170, creating opportunity here. So GameStop, AMC, from $10 up to $14, and Cost. Cost had a real quick, fast opportunity on it. This thing just boomed from $16 all the way up to $20.50. Real fast opportunity, and you can't chase after a stock like Cost because we all know Cost likes to surge up. Same thing with GameStop. GameStop has a history of surging up and then just slowly fading out. I appreciate it, Travis. Well, I'm not trying to boost myself or brag, but I've been doing this for 6 years, and you just get tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over and over again. I've been seeing people comment the same stuff time and time and time again. And what they all do, they fall in love with the stock and they emotionally marry these stocks. And then they go everywhere on social media to try to find out what other people are saying about that stock. Or they'll comment on that stock nonstop on social media to try and pump it up themselves. There's a lot of hope and dreams in the stock market. A lot of people don't realize if you set forth a game plan and you have a process, and what we just covered last Tuesday on the 11th, we just did the masterclass part 7. And in the masterclass, we went over building your own playbook. And in this class, I shared with you guys my playbook and how it's evolved. All my plays that I put into that playbook, and then any little detail I would put into it. And then over the course of time, going back, revisiting my playbook, and then tweaking with my plays as the market evolves. So, part 7 of the masterclass here, guys, we already have, 12, 15 hours of masterclass material. And it just goes to show you with all that content how many little things that you have to know about and work on to improve as a trader. So, like I said at the beginning, this is probably going to be like a 10 to 12 part masterclass. And it's probably going to be 20 to 30 hours. But having a playbook is a must in this game. You even hear the guys from SMB Capital talk about it as well. Having your own playbook. And Mike Belforet even wrote a couple books. The playbook. And what was the other one he wrote? I'm drawing a blank here. One Good Trade. So the playbook and one good trade. A lot of people, like that comment that we just seen, they just throw money at a stock and they hope for it to go up. And then when it goes up and they're up in profit, they never sell it. And then you'll see them asking around, hey, when do you think I should sell this? The comment spammers are so annoying. Both bears and bulls get toxic when they pick a side. Dumb money that hits it big are the ones that have mommy and daddy's money to keep refunding and falling back on. You're exactly right. Yup. Exactly right. And I pointed this out. Um we'll get going into the watch list here in a moment. I'm just hanging out and shooting the crap with you guys. But with Wall Street Bets, you know, before GameStop even had that squeeze, that huge gigantic squeeze, Wall Street Bets has been around forever. Forever. And all Wall Street Bets has ever been was big money and traders using mommy and daddy's money to fund their accounts and doing YOLO trades. Like, these dudes out here are the most degenerate gamblers ever. Like, they do not care if they make money or lose money. Like, you'll see them too. A lot of them will post stuff, stupid stuff like, all right, boys, I did it. I invested my whole 401k into GameStop. Let's do it. And it's like, oh my goodness, dude. And imagine people following that. All these new people coming in and they're thinking that's a good idea and they're following that. They have no idea what they're in for. There's so many members in this Wall Street Bets, it's insane. So even Friday, I put out a video for you guys. That was a little lesson that we did Friday about discipline. I hope you guys liked that video. If you have not checked that video out, it's a most definitely check it out. We talk about discipline as a trader. I hate this with Google. I always got to sign into my account anytime I close out Google. So right here, this one right here, released 2 days ago, Discipline. If you have not watched this yet, go check it out. Hit the thumbs up button on it. There's a lot of really good little lessons in that video. And all of last week, I noticed it was hard for a lot of traders to adjust to that type of market. We've been seeing a lot of stocks pop up, making it look like they're gonna break out and run new high of day, and then just get stuffed and fall right back down. Stocks like MOSY. Look at that big surge Friday from 275 up to 5. U-shapes around, fails, and then consolidates all day and gets a pop right into the close. And then sinks down just below 4 after hours. This stock, it could gap up or it could gap down. I don't know what's gonna happened with MOSY. Same thing, a big one was IHT. Now look at this bad boy. All week this stock performed. Over a week, 6 days straight. Running up super, super huge. Falling down really, really hard. Running up super huge. But every time it would come up to resistance and fall off super hard. Let me get my pen. So here's our resistance line at 8. This stock would run up, crumble, give back over 50% of its move, and then just squeeze all the way back up, retrace over 50%, rip right back up, and it was just back and forth, back and forth. And this is the type of market you got to notice and adjust to. Look at the big picture here. Range bound, back and forth action, support, resistance, support, resistance. So there was a lot of opportunity here on IHT. And how many of you look at, you're in the market real time and you can't get a read on the stock, but then at the end of the day, when the chart's complete for the day, you look at it and it just makes perfect sense. Am I right with that? Even when you look at charts over the weekend and you look back at how these stocks moved the whole week, it really makes a lot of sense and you put it together really easily. You just have to learn to trust yourself. You really do. Once you start seeing things happen over and over and over again, and you're seeing repetition with a lot of stocks, you're picking up on the theme that keeps happening over and over again. That's how you take advantage of these opportunities. So if you're battling and you're only thinking one way, well, my guru only taught me to buy new 52-week high breakouts. Volume has to be super massive, and the stock has to break new high of day. That's what my guru said. You can only buy those. I mean, that's sad. Because we all know majority of stocks that try to break high of day, they fail, right? I mean, here's IHT for an example. Test that $8, $9 multiple times. And you got to think of how many times it trapped a lot of bag holders on this bad boy. And it's a low float stock too. I think the float on IHT is like 1.5 million. Let me see here. Go down to bot chart lookup. I think it'll pull it up. iFloat IHT. Oh, the float on it's 3.1 million. Shares outstanding is 9 million. Still, a 3 million float stock, that's a low float stock. And every single day on IHT, it did around 30 million in volume on average. So here's the daily here. Look at every one of these candles down here on the daily. So volume is on average every day 30 million, 35 million. So they've rotated that float how many times? About 10 times. Every day they've rotated that float 10 times. Big wicked range on this thing. From $5.50 to almost $9. So that's like a $3.50, $4 back and forth move. A lot of opportunity on IHT. So I posted a comment earlier today asking if you guys wanted any specific stocks you guys wanted me to cover in the stream. Somebody mentioned MUDS. We could take a look at that. I don't have any of my moving averages here on this daily chart. So the first thing I like to do, I always like to try to look at the float. Float's 23 million. I don't know if this will do volume. No, it won't tell me the average volume. So it looks like MUDS just got beat down from 17 all the way down to 1250. Nice rebound here on Friday. It really needs to get up and over 1450 for it to get up and going. It's looking like it's starting to collapse here on the 10-minute. I don't see really MUDS doing anything. It really needs to reclaim 1450. If it can reclaim 1450, that's when you'll see volume coming back into it. Shorts covering positions and people potentially getting excited for it. So what I do whenever I have stocks like this and they have a price target that has to reach, instead of keeping an eye on it every day, I just simply create an alert. New alert. Trade price increases to 1450. Review alert. Activate alert. Now that alert is activated, and then next week, anytime during the market, if that alert triggers, I can quickly pull it up, see what it's doing, and then start putting together a game plan instead of keeping an eye on it every single day, because there's going to be multiple stocks that pop up, and don't get distracted on just one specific stock. Don't get tunnel vision. There's so many opportunities out there. Let this one develop and form. On Street Smart Edge is a little laggy here. TSLA, not TLSA. So Tesla's been getting beat down. Don't underestimate Tesla, though. The past few years, Tesla has been the #1 shorted stock. And if you've been around, you've seen some pretty epic squeezes on Tesla. Pretty epic. All before that stock split. I mean, I've seen some insane moves on Tesla. Take a look at this SPY real quick. So anytime you get a pullback in the major indexes, and you guys hear me say this all the time, it's like people freak out. And it's understandable why they do. Because you got to think, a lot of people have their life savings, their retirement money in these markets. So if these markets go into correction territory or crashes, and all these people are a few years away from retirement, they're going to freak out because they just added and added and added every week for 30, 40, 50 years. and they don't want to give back their gains and if we go into a crash or a correction. So that's why people freak out. And it also gets amplified when you have CNBC, CNN, all these news sources just blasting it nonstop. That's all you'll hear them talk about. And they'll even bring on analysis who think they're experts, and they'll give their opinion if the market's going to crash. And all it is just fear, guys. It is. I've given multiple examples about it. You even have a guy on YouTube, and I pointed it out a while ago. I'm going to show you guys again. I'm going to bring his channel up. Every single video he puts out, he talks about stock market crash. Every single video. Let me go to his account real quick. Hold on. So it's this guy right here. And I'm not dogging on this guy. I'm just pointing a fact. So look at it. Stock market crash. The true reason your stocks are underperforming. Will the stock market crash continue or recover? Top 5 reasons you lose money. Huge upcoming stock market crash. The 3 most devastating losses. Billionaire issues major stock market warning. April stock market crash. So you see the reoccurring theme with this dude. And this is how he makes his money. This dude ain't trading or investing. He's out here to get views, guys. This guy gets paid by views. And look at how many views he's getting. 10K per video. And you could scroll back for look, he's still talking about stock market crash. So he knows fear is what drives his revenue. So he's going to keep doing that. The more people they freak out, that's why you see those big panics and the stock market really sinks. And you see the VIX, the fear index, perk and spike up. Look at the recent perk and spike up here on the VIX from 17 up to almost 29. And we can go back on this thing. This thing, when it ramped early this year, the first couple months of the year, when it was all the way up here at 84, we were seeing huge volatility, guys, every day. And then since then, the fear index has been declining. Lower and lower in a channel like that. So the lower this fear index goes, the less volatility we get in the market. That's why you're not really seeing very big explosive moves to the upside. And a lot of just slow fades and decays. This is the type of stuff you got to know about. This type of stuff. This is your edge. Knowing about the VIX and the fear index, you have that upper hand versus somebody out there who has a lotto trading account. You know what I'm saying? People thrive on fear. That's why horror movies are so popular. People like to be scared. You know, they get that rush. It's real interesting, and that's what drives me, guys. That's why you guys hear me on my channel. I talk a lot about psychology and emotions. You know, I really like sitting and thinking about what people think about what makes them tick. Why did they do that? Like understanding why people do stuff in their actions. And you don't really hear many day trading channels talk about the stuff that I talk about, because it's some really deep stuff. It is. It's all an alternate in who you are as a person. It's much easier giving out alerts. In chat, you guys always hear me say there's opportunities everywhere in the stock market. You just have to be patient and wait for those opportunities. And I get it. When you're new, you want to trade everything. You see a pattern, you want to trade it. So you got to get that over trading out of your system. You got to be comfortable with watching moves and patterns set up and being okay with not trading it. Just because a wedge pops up or a triangle or a head and shoulders doesn't mean you have to trade it. A lot of times I sit back and I just watch. We make our money sitting, being very selective about what we trade. Because if you try to trade every single pattern, you're just going to slowly drain out your account. You are. So we got HYRE here. If this can get over 14 again, 1350, 14, this thing will be hitting highs. This thing was in play a long time ago. Look at my daily. I was drawing lines on this way back here at the beginning of 2019. Wow. I remember HYRE too. Wow, I had a lot of lines drawn. This was in play for a long time. I'll leave that line. So you see as well, that resistance there, it was all resistance there, and then when the stock finally got up over that resistance, it acted as support right there. But this is where a lot of people get frustrated as well. When stocks wick down like that and blow through their stop loss, come right back and then keep pushing. Stock trading, it's not perfect. If you get stopped out, oh well. reevaluate, and move on. I get that question a lot with newer traders as well. They say they put hard stops in, and a lot of times it'll rip down, take them out, and it'll rip right back up and go on without them. I can't preach enough. This is why when I trade based off of psychological price levels. Every whole dollar, 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents, back to the whole dollar. Then once you start focusing on these psychological numbers, it's a lot easier to manage your risk and reward off of that as well. So if you get in at, let's say, $11, put a stop at $10.75, you're given 25 cents of wiggle room depending on how volatile the stock is. If the stock is grinding pennies at a time, I can be tight with my stop. I'll put it at like 10.90. But if the stock's ripping up and down 15, 20 pennies at a time, you gotta be a little bit more loose. You gotta adjust to the stock's personality. So if somebody gets in at 11, and what I like to say, if they're being a cheap ass and they're putting a stop at 10.99 or 10.95, they're trying to risk 5 pennies, but they want to make $1 per share. Like, dude, that's insane. Do you understand? Listen to yourself. You're trying to risk 5 cents to make $1. That's insane. What are you talking about? Be more realistic. Risk 25 cents to make 50 cents. That's a 1 to 2 risk versus reward. You're risking 1 to make 2. Or you're risking that 25 cents to make $1. That's a 4 to 1 risk versus reward. You're risking 25 cents to make $1. So you got to go through that as well, and figuring out and understanding risk versus reward factors. And it's all part of the process. Showing up every day, getting that screen time under your belt, understanding and seeing how these stocks like to move up and down. And it all just comes together. It really does. So HYRE, this was like the top percentage gainer on Friday. I think it's well worth keeping on watch because this stock was a runner in the past and it's perking up again. We got a nice good pullback here right off this morning drive. It failed to break out higher. We've been seeing that as a reoccurring theme last week. Stocks ain't breaking out to new highs. It was a lot of range-bound plays. So stick to range-bound plays. And then when you start seeing stocks breaking high of day and running, adjust. So HYRE, and I'm going to go to the Monday chat and I'm going to type all this in. I like to keep HYRE on watch to see how it continues to play out. I'm also going to keep IHT on watch. I just have to keep this on watch with how low the float is on this thing. And it's just every day 30 million in volume's been coming into it. I could see this thing running up, blowing over 10 and running to $20, $25. Same thing what like BTX did. Started to heat up here and it just got more and more volume. And look what happened. Things got out of control and BTX ran from $4s all the way up to almost $80. So you have to keep tabs on these low float stocks, especially if volume keeps pumping into it like this and it just looks dead but just comes back. Like, there's heavy manipulation with this thing all day. But something's going on. I could just see it. So I'm going to keep IHT on watch for anything crazy, because these are the types of stocks that can make your whole month, your whole year even. You just have to keep eyes on the bigger picture. So IHT, I'm going to add that. We can also keep GameStop, AMC, and COS on watch as well. You know, a lot of people are watching these stocks, these meme stocks. It just perked up Friday. Let's see if any follow through comes into next week. On the yearly here, they have a big old wedge on this bad boy. Right there. So everybody sees the same thing. Wait for it to start to break out from that wedge. Who knows what direction GameStop's going to go. It could either go to the upside or it can go to the downside. It's a 50-50 at this point. I don't want to be that guy buying a lotto ticket, holding on to it, and then when it starts to fall, I emotionally marry the stock and then I can't sell it, and then it goes all the way down to $1. They gotta, like, GameStop, everything's going digital now. All these consoles that are coming out, they don't take disc anymore to play a video game. Everything's all downloaded on the console and stored on the console in cloud. That's my thinking on GameStop. Everything's going to streaming. I still see a few people talking about OCGN. This stock's a real hit or miss. It really is. And OCGN, the personality it has, it's more of like a swing trading type stock. A stock you hold on to for either a few hours or a few days. OCGN, for day trading, I'm not interested in it. It really needs to hold up above 8 for any type of move higher. You guys can keep it on the back burner if you want. I'm going to move on from it. JMIA has been in a down channel since February 12th, from 66 all the way down here to $22. Take a look at this 10-minute. We just got a good perk up right here. So it could be trying to test resistance. I want to keep an eye on it to see if it breaks up through resistance or comes up to that resistance. Even on this, I'll slap a line on it from way up here. So it's like it's in a down channel, and it's been retracing since this big move here. JMIA, if you've been around in the stock market for a few years, you remember JMIA, the first day it opened as an IPO. This thing, it's got a history. It definitely does. And it didn't... I remember it way back here, making a play on it. and a playbook play on it. The IPO bounce. The first day it opened, look at that. And it ran all the way up. And when it came all the way back down, it bounced right at where it bottomed out right there. This was way back. Back at the beginning of 2019. And look at what it's done. Driven all the way down to $2. Runs all the way up to $72. It's a wild stock. It's definitely a stock worth keeping on your watch list. I think there's a lot of good swing trading opportunities with JMIA. Next up, Playboy, PLBY. Now, Playboy, looking at this daily, it trended down here from 60 all the way to 40. It just got a nice pop here up to 47. Good move on this Friday from 41 all the way up to 49. And then after hours, running all the way up to 56. Playboy has a history of running. And looking at this 10-minute, the way it's been trending down like this, and that nice perk up right here, I like that. Retracing, look for a push up higher. Well, it started pushing after hours. But this thing could easily run all the way back up to its highs. It can. So keep Playboy on watch next week. Playboy likes to set up a lot of good opportunities. The stock loves to move. You got to pay attention to the bigger picture too with Playboy. Don't get caught up in the 1 minute time frame. Tunnel vision. BTX, I'm still going to keep this thing on watch because I really think BTX, it's going to have a really good snap to the upside. It's just a matter of when it will happen. Shorts have had no reason to sell. So they're making money. More shorts start piling in. They're seeing at how much opportunity they're seeing slip away the more this thing decays. Then once it starts perking and popping up, once one short starts to cover, they all cover. And that's where we could see a huge rip to the upside, guys. From $80 practically, you could draw a perfect line on this. Look at that, all the way down. And we're all the way at $20. So if this thing starts breaking that trend line, it's going to surge up to $30, $40, $50. I can see it running up to. So there's a lot of money to be made on BTX still. Even if we draw a retracement here from the high, even if it bounced right here at $21, see that 50%, you can't see it, that 50% potential bounce is right at $51. So I'm going to keep close tabs on BTX. This is the type of stock. Pay attention to the bigger picture. This stock, one trade could make your whole month, your whole year even, guys. I'm telling you. And if you keep eyes on it and it starts ripping and taking off, you're super early to the party. Then it starts going off on everybody's stock scanners. People who forgot about it bring it up and they're like, oh yeah, let me buy it and chase it. They're chasing it when it's at 40 and you're comfortably holding on to it since $25, $20. You know what I'm saying? And then you see more and more and more and more volume push into it, and it boosts your confidence. You're like, yeah, I'm right on the money with this thing. I got the confidence to hold on because I see the volume pouring into it. I seen it before anybody else. That's the smart money, guys. And look at that on the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight red days. All pulling back on super light volume, too. So I can't wait for that day for BTX. I think it's going to be a great day. And watch, it'll probably be the #1 percentage gainer for the day, too. So BTX, I'm going to add that. Let's check on RHE. See, RHE is still up near its highs as well. From $4 to $28. I'd like to see it hold this $14. If we zoom in on this 10-minute, you guys can see a huge wedge right on it at 14. So we got a nice looking wedge here on the 10-minute time frame. RHE is most definitely still in play. If it starts breaking up over 16, this thing could lift and run to 20, 25. And it's a super, super low float stock. The float is only 1.5 million. So keep RHE on watch. We covered HYRE. Even last Sunday scan, guys, we added plug to the weekly watch list. And this had a great week. Plug. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So last Sunday, we added this to the list. Monday, it continued to get driven down. And then Tuesday, from 17, it ran all the way up to $24. All day it ran up. Right there. Ran up all day. The following days it pulled back. And then Friday, pre-market in the morning. Nice perk right back up to 25.50s. You can even draw a big trend line on this too. Right there. See how that trend line holding as resistance? So until that plug, if it ever breaks over that trend line, let it break up over it, then let it pull back, hold that trend line as support, take it from there. Plug, keep it on the watch list, let it set up and develop. LEDS is, wow. That thing exploded after hours. This is why you guys keep low float stocks on watch days after they make their move, guys. Look at that. Morning, it runs up from 6 to 950, pulls back and consolidates the rest of the day. Then after hours, it runs from 850 all the way up to 11. That's insane. And it's another low float stock at 2.4 million shares. Anything's possible with low float stocks. That's why I love watching them so much. It's because things can flip on a dime. NIO just keeps getting driven down more and more. I think it's trying to set up, though, for potential reversal. With that plug, this is what I was talking about, guys. When you have a trend line like that, see how it was all resistance, 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 and it finally perked up over it? You want to see it pull back and hold that trend line as support. And then from there, bounce off it and rip up higher. Let the bigger time frames paint the picture, and then narrow it down with your time frames. I appreciate the comment, JJ. I tried to, man. I want to see all of you guys making money out here. TYHT, this one's been going non-stop. Look at that, from 250 all the way up to 2050. Super, super light volume on it. Who remembers this stock last a couple weeks ago, actually? Wow. Somebody's getting squeezed, and they're getting squeezed low key. MBIS volume really dried up on this thing. I'd really want to see it get up over 15 bucks. Let it prove to me. Had a nice surge here Friday from 1250 up to 1450. And I've seen a few of you guys in chat. You've been tracking MBIS real closely. There's opportunity on MBIS, don't get me wrong, but it's not the type of mover that I really like to track. Because when I zoom out on this, and this is just my personal opinion, all I see is just a bunch of choppiness back and forth. I don't want to be in chop. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, quick pop, down, up. A lot of choppiness just back and forth, making new highs, new lows. I don't want to be a part of that. I want to identify repeating patterns and take advantage of that. But if you can track this and you're nailing it, nailing it, nailing it, amazing job. That's your edge. Take advantage of it. Take full advantage of it. That's what trading's all about. Finding your edge and taking advantage of it over and over and over again. Mic check. Should still be working. You know who I was following for a while? Bulls on Wall Street. But whenever I see Bulls on Wall Street post their weekly watch list, and I'll pull up the stocks and I'll look at them, Bulls on Wall Street, they're more focused and geared towards like swing trading, like bigger time frame, like 10-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute charts. I've noticed that over the course of time with Bulls on Wall Street. They're great, great people over there. What's his name? Kunal? Hilarious dude. So we got a nice snap here on skills. Just swing trading opportunity on skills. Let it pull back, hold by the bounce up off that trend line. All right, Donkey Kong. This could be a good one. It recently had a big sink right here from 57 all the way down to 40. And it's right now, it's bouncing right back up. I could see this bouncing back up to $50 at least. So from here, where it fell through, down to the bottom, 50% of this move right here. $50. Yeah, I'm gonna throw Donkey Kong on the weekly watch list. I think it offers a good opportunity. BCRX, that daily chart looks good. But this is more of like a swing trade type of stock. I'm seeing a lot of good swing trade opportunities out here, guys. So if you're a swing trader, there's opportunity out there. It's going to be important this upcoming week to focus and pay attention to big picture type plays. I think that's what we're going into with the current theme. You can't get caught up in the 1 minute time frame because you'll just get chewed up and spit out. You will. I mean, look at this is just a lot of examples here on OCGN. Starting from way back here. See, it was in an uptrend and it pulled back and consolidated. And when it went for that high of day break, it got stuffed. And it got stuffed with light volume compared to what it was doing. Fell all the way down, and the next day it finally took off and ran. So paying attention to the bigger picture, guys. Don't get caught up in the 1 minute time frame. This market right now, you gotta pay attention to the bigger time frames. The 10-minute, daily, 30-minute, and be more patient with your plays. Now, I'm not saying hold on to losers and hold on to them and endure the pain of it going down. Of course, you want to have a plan every single trade. Still have a stop loss and a profit area, but start developing your plans more on the bigger time frames. And then our good old friend TKAT had a real quick couple pops this past week. Right there, TKAT ran from 22 up to 26.50, right back down. Look at that little volume surge. And then fast forward a couple days, another one right here from 2050 all the way up to 2350. I still personally think TKAT, it's worth keeping on the watch list, but the only time that this is going to pick up is if the company puts out a press release and it's on the gap scanner. I like how it's up. It's been holding majority of its gains on that daily chart, and it's just pulling back and waiting for that next press release. And when that next press release, if it comes, this thing's gonna start taking off again. It's only a 6 million float. LEXX, just a pump and dump. I wouldn't pay no attention to it. I'm really tempted to just delete this big old watch list instead of filtering through it and going with what we've been adding to the list here, starting fresh Monday. Just look at all of these stocks like this with the big sell off. Nothing ever happened. Nothing. NKLA. I could see NKLA doing something. Again, it's like a swing trade though. Break over 13. Run up to 14. Oh, Funko. FNKO. I'm gonna delete this weekly watch list. Start from scratch Monday morning. I'm tired of following these stocks that haven't been doing anything for a month. So we got Funko up near its highs. Friday, it bounced right back up near its highs up here at 25.50, 25. If you've tracked Funko in the past, you know Funko likes to rip and run dollars. Like, it runs $5, $6, $8 when it runs. Look at this. From 21.50 runs all the way up to 24.50. Here from $21 all the way up to 23.50. Even a big surge here. 2250 running all the way up to 25. Yeah, I could see it running up and testing its highs. PLTR. Um, that's a tough one. Because here on the daily chart on PLTR, it fell right through that. And that's going to be resistance. So that's a PLTR is looking bearish. Unless something crazy happens, company comes out with a press release, good news, or shorts get squeezed or something, PLTR is looking pretty bearish. That's my opinion though. But anything could happen. I mean, look what happened here. Pretty much almost the same thing. Yeah. See how it set that wedge up? And it fell down through it and it came right back up to the area it flushed from. And it squeezed the fuck out of shorts. Just ripped their faces off. That's a good short squeeze right there. That could happen here. Never know. Why I always say try to keep an open mind. Just like HYRE here. Got a top right there, but it fell down through it, came all the way back up. It's finding resistance right at that area it fell through. If it can perk up and keep going, it's going to squeeze shorts. That's why I preach to you guys every day. You should be showing up, putting in that screen time, seeing these setups over and over, because what you're doing is you're training your eyes to look at these charts and break them down. You see how effortlessly I break these charts down, and I can just pull up a chart, instantly see what's going on. The more you practice something, the better you get at it. Um, someone, Bill HTZGQ, that's probably an OTC stock. I don't even trade OTC stocks. I'll pull it up. HTZ, man, bankrupt too. Whenever a company has a Q at the end of their thing, that means they filed for bankruptcy. That's not good. You don't want to be investing in a company that has bankruptcy. This is Heinz. Yeah, they're delisted. They got knocked down to the OTC market. I'm not going to say anything on Heinz. Uh-uh. Not gonna say a darn thing. No. I remember when this company filed bankruptcy a year, 2 years ago. And I literally watched Heinz or Hertz go under $1. A lot of people made a lot of money on that, shorting it. RENN had a nice day. From 9 up to 11, pulls back. Nice run up to 1250. Wow, this thing's been in a nice up channel for a while. See, like this? This is how you get better, guys. I take a snapshot of this. Take a snapshot and save it. It'd be like, pop, pull back, gear up, boom. Pop, pull back, gear up, boom. That's what I'd name it. Because the stock literally popped up, it pulled back pretty tight, it perked up, and it geared up. It geared up right here, and boom, blast off. I see opportunity. That's why I saved that chart. Study the pattern, because if I see it happen again, I'm familiar with it. I'll study it and break it down. Along with volume, too. A lot of people overlook volume. A lot of people. Even on that pop-up there. And then the push up high to new high of day. You have, look at that volume surge. And when volume pushed up to a new high, volume's hitting a new high of day also. So that's confirming it. That's confirming the price action. Even when you look at this too, a retracement from here up to this high, it almost retraced and pulled back. This move here, it retraced and pulled back almost 50%. Almost. That 50% is right there. That's why people like using Fibonacci retracements. They try to measure moves, how much a stock will pull back, and the strength compare with volume. Keep it really simple, guys. You know, there's really no need to go out of your way and overcomplicate things. Adding on like Bollinger Bands. Let's just add all this on for fun. We'll add on RSI. Where's MACD at? I'll add on Ichimoku clouds, MACD. So I've added all that on now. Now watch. Look at how much cluttered my damn chart is. See how much easier you can overlook something now? Well, and then you'll overlook the big picture because you're going to be like, oh, I see a MACD divergence right there. You see all that blue line cross down below that red line, that's bad. You don't want to see that. And then you got the volume retracing. Oh, you got SRSI down here. All these moving averages. Like, dude, you're doing way too much, bro. Pay attention to price action and volume. The whole stock market revolves off of supply, demand, and if there's an imbalance in that. That's all it is. That's why I laugh when I see people with their charts like this. Like, I know, like, dude, you're never going to make money with your charts like that. Keep it simple. Take all that stuff off. Keep it bare bones. But don't get me wrong, there's a big cult following out there. There's a lot of cult followings out there that this is why I preach try to stay away from overcrowded stocks. When you see a stock trading and it's got 300 million in volume on the day and it's only noon, that stock is so overcrowded and you have so many different multiple personalities trading that stock, and then you have all these cult followings. When I say cult followings, I mean cult followings of traders that believe and only trade MACD, Ichimoku cloud, Fibonacci retracements, Bollinger Bands, volume at price, traders that only trade pivots, traders that only trade RSI, stochastics. And when you start adding all of this up, you have all of these different personalities and cults fighting each other. It just leads to randomness. It honestly does. That's why I try to preach, stay away from overcrowded stocks. And how many times have we seen really great textbook setups and stocks move beautifully with light volume, I'll say. Just not overcrowded volume. Kind of like this RENN did here. And what was volume on the day? 500,000 shares was only traded on RENN. MOSY, how much volume was traded on this day? 59 million shares was traded. And the float's only 8.6 million. Like I said, people like overcomplicating things. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm out here doing some weird shit. Like, when I go into psychology and emotions, I get real deep into thinking about it and talking about it. I'm out here on Google asking, why do people overcomplicate things? The answer, perhaps, to why we overcomplicate things is because that's the easy thing to do. Ironically, it takes thought and effort to keep things simple. And that's what makes it more valuable to us as humans. And I'll sit and I'll think about that and see if that thought goes into something else. This is how I personally grow, not only as a trader, but as a man. Always try challenging yourself and you want to learn something else. You know, maybe you'll learn something new about yourself that you never thought, you know? But people love overcomplicating things. That's why there's over 1,000 different indicators out there. People like to put their own little twist on it, and then they hit a market cycle where it works, and then they try to sell it to you. All right, I posted that watch list for you guys in the Monday chat. You guys should be good to go up in there. I'm going to try to keep a really fresh, clean slate going into next week. I'll keep an eye on my meme stocks, GameStop, AMC, see if anything happened with those, but I highly doubt it. Those stocks love to pop up and fade off. It's already 8:30. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. What do I like to say Friday or Sundays, guys? Get a good night's rest, reset that mind. We got a week upcoming. Mondays, be careful on Monday, guys, because we have that long weekend, the Saturday off, Sunday off. We get all excited for the market to reopen on Monday. Remember, all it takes is a click of a button to buy a stock. So always be monitoring your thoughts too throughout the day. I'm a big fan of having a trading buddy. You should have a trading buddy. Someone to bounce ideas off of, someone to talk to. You don't want to keep all that stuff inside because it'll eat away at you. Then just to show you guys, see my weekly watch list, I deleted it. I'm starting clean. I want to go into Monday refreshed and reset, see what pops up, and start generating new ideas. All the stocks that we've been following, like, volume's really starting to dry up on them. Now I need to take a step back, reset, and see what comes to me and speaks to me. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you're in the chat with us every day. You know the types of stocks that I trade on the daily. That sound like a plan, guys? Still plenty of opportunity out here, but like I said, a lot of what I've been seeing, it's a lot of like swing trading setups. You're going to have to keep an eye on the bigger time frame, the 10-minute, 30-minute time frame, and have patience. I think that's going to be really key this week, having a lot of patience. Let's see where Bitcoin's at real quick. You guys have any questions? Bitcoin's at 46K. Been falling off. People been panicking. Can't even break through 50K now. So it's not looking good for Bitcoin. So, hey, let Bitcoin crash and fall off, because that only means more volume's going to come back into the stock market. So we want to see Bitcoin crash. See where Dogecoin's at. 51 cent. I don't know. That Dogecoin, it could go higher. It's just chilling at 50 cent. Look at that average volume. 8.3 billion. Okay, so Elon Musk sold Bitcoin. I thought he was involved with Dogecoin, not Bitcoin. I just looked at it. Bitcoin's under 50K. It's not looking good. Scroll back the past 5 days. It was just going back and forth at that 50K. It can't break through it. So it exhausted itself trying to break over that 50K so many times up here. I always try to tell you guys psychological price levels. Try to pay attention to them. And think of stocks and even cryptocurrencies. They move just like stocks. Think of stocks as people. So if you go for a run, and let's say you run hard for nonstop 10 minutes, you're going to want to stop for a moment, take a little breather. Am I right? So the same thing goes for stocks. And it all depends on how big or small that float is. That's a pretty big float. It's going to take a longer of a rest. A real small float, I mean, you're going to see that stock bouncing everywhere, up and down. Wild. Just like that MOSY. Let me go to TradingView. I haven't checked that website out in a minute. I have an account on here. Yeah, because Tesla was accepting, what was it? It was either Bitcoin or Dogecoin for payment for a Tesla. Then they stopped it. I honestly don't know, guys, because I don't follow cryptocurrency. I don't. It's never caught my interest. It just never spoke to me. Equities in the stock market has always grabbed my attention because currently money's king right now still. So I'll pay attention to what still, there's a lot of mystery and scams behind Bitcoin. Even the government doesn't even really know how to go about it. Maybe it'll be the currency when they go to Mars. I don't know. But I think they're onto something. I just don't think that this is the right idea. I think a better idea will come along, like I've said. That's my own opinions, though. Really bright. So just like Mossy, See how it had a morning move and then it rested the rest of the day? And then at the end of the day, it's trying to start perking up. You're going to see that a lot with stocks. So always remember, when stocks have a big upside move or even a downside move, think of the stock it just went on a run. Now it's got to take a pause and a breather, and then it will either continue going in the direction it was or it'll reverse. Honestly, try it out. Think of stocks like people and how they move. You're going to want to take a break. You get a lunch break, right? At a job. Same thing with stocks. Yeah, Elon Musk, he's a dude, he's a character. I've never played him around much on this trading view. I've always known about it, but there are people out here that post good stuff. Like this person's trading the Euro market. Euro, I don't know. The FX market, Euro and United States dollar. But they move differently than equities. They do. Let's take a look at it. See, look at that. This set up a wedge here. It crashed down and then it squeezed all the way up. I've never really got into all this stuff. It just goes to show you there's a vehicle out there for everyone. Opportunity is everywhere. You just have to find what works for you. You got an inverse head and shoulder right there. CL CL1. From first glance, I'd say bearish. Going lower. From the move down here all the way down, it only bounced up about 50% of this move here. going down lower. It'll probably come back down. It'll come down here to like 64. Same thing what it did right here. This big move down, it bounced up about 50%. Down she goes. Comment, hey Wolf, I just want to say thank you for changing my life. That's why I'm here, man. I like to hear that. You feel a lot more proud that you yourself was able to accomplish what you've accomplished. And once you start picking this up and you're taking off, you can honestly see the potential. Am I right? I mean, the potential is limitless in the stock market. That's why I love it so much. When I found out and discovered the stock market, I learned everything that I could. Why do you think this is where all the big money in the world hang out? Us Man S change 92. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's awesome to hear. Just, it blows my mind that what I cover and teach here, why a lot of people don't talk about this type of stuff. Like they try hiding it, like it's a secret. They don't want anybody to know because it'll ruin it for everybody. It's not going to ruin it for everybody. It's just human nature. It's never going to change. But you do have to have that drive. You have to put a lot of hard work into this. You really do. You guys already know. It's like you have to obsess over this. You really do. You have to obsess on improving as a trader and as a human being. You want to be a better person. Chandra Kant, thanks for subscribing. It's a fun game, but you got to take it seriously as well. There's a lot of people that lose everything. Everything. But it all comes down to they over leveraged. They didn't have a plan. They don't respect risk. They don't respect the stock market. That's why I call the S&P 500 and the SPY. I call the SPY mother. You always do what mother says, and you listen to mother. You never talk back to mother. You never raise your hand at mother. You respect mother. Take it a day at a time. You don't try predicting what mom's gonna do. Mom knows everything, right? So it's a lot of philosophy in the way you got to look at this, in the way you got to approach this game. Perception. And a lot of people will fail because going back to that Facebook comment, People out here have lotto ticket accounts, mommy and daddy's money that they don't care that they blow up. Wow. Even with the technicals on the SPY here on TradingView, they still have it a strong buy. Once you start learning this game too, guys, and you start understanding everything, you won't even care what other people have to say. You won't. That's the honest truth. Because all you'll need is what you personally think, and that's enough. I was there. I used to go on Twitter all the time and look up the specific stock I was looking to trade or swing, see what other people were saying or and all that. And ever since I read that one thing where if you're finding yourself on social media seeing what other people are saying about a stock or a company, you're looking for a reason to buy or to hold. That really clicked with me. It really did. And you guys seen me bring it up and mention it a few times. When I first started trading, how much capital I started with, I started trading. I opened an account with $2,000 and then I blew it up. And then I'd fund another account. And then I went through a phase where I took that $1,000 and I tried proving to myself that I could grow $1,000 up to 2,000. And for the longest time, I could never get my account up over that 1,000. I would always fall down below that 1,000, and then it was always like I was playing catch up, trying to get it back to 1,000. And it took a long time. I blew up 3, 4 accounts before things just started clicking. And then just little realizations, like little things that you pick up along the way and how you mature about this and go about it and just studying nonstop, not giving up. And then literally it's like a light bulb goes off in your head and it's game over and you're just on that run. But don't get me wrong, you are going to have hiccups along the way. I mean, even myself, 6 years into this, I sometimes have hiccups. I'm not perfect. I have bad days. I take bad trades. It's how you bounce back from that. That's where you separate yourself from the rest. So, people out there that are trading these wild, crazy stocks that rip up $5 and run down $6, and they're gonna blow their account up, most definitely, because you're gonna give back weeks and weeks of work in one stupid trade. And it took me a long time to realize that, because I would always find myself trading these stocks like MOSY, getting in, waiting as it consolidated, and then have it death candle down on me. Or if it did spike up, I'd chase after it and it'd be a fake out and it would slam down super hard. Or I would chase after and just get stubborn and trade stocks like IHT. Once you get tired of losing and losing and losing and losing, trust me, you're gonna change and you're gonna learn from your mistakes. So until I started proving to myself profitable every week turns into profitable month. Like, hey, I been profitable now for 4 straight months. Wow. Didn't even realize it. Just focusing on the next day, starting over. Tomorrow's a new day. Doesn't matter what I did the previous day. I could have lost, I could have won. Forget about it. Focus on the next day, the current day. Take it one day at a time. That's why when I tell you guys, don't try focusing on being profitable for the day. Try focusing on closing green for the week. Once you start focusing on closing green for the week, that turns into closing green for the month. And then that's when you could pay yourself monthly. You know, withdraw from your account, pay yourself too. That's another thing I wouldn't do. I wouldn't pay myself. So I would make profit, and I'd get my account up, and then I would up my size as well. And I would never pay myself. You have to reward yourself. You do. Your brain likes to be rewarded. So if you're studying, you're showing up every day, you're getting that screen time in, but then you're not rewarding yourself with a payout or even a little vacation. Go splurge on yourself or your significant other. You know, celebrate. You need that. Your brain likes that kind of stuff. So I would never pay myself. And what would I do? I'd be stupid and I'd blow it on one trade, or I'd get stubborn on one stock and I'd blow all my profit. And I did that a few times. And you have to go through it to learn from it, right? We all make mistakes. You just have to man up and be like, I gotta learn from this. I can't do that no more. Remember that feeling. Remember how you felt. Don't repeat that mistake again. If you find yourself repeating these mistakes over and over and over again, and you keep telling yourself, I can't keep making these mistakes. I don't know why I keep making them mistakes. You have no self-control. You need a consequence in place. So if you're going to break that rule, you need a consequence of, if you hate running, if you break a rule, you have to go on a run that day. Doesn't matter if it's raining out, snowing out. I don't care if it's 20 below zero. You have to stick to your rules. You have to go in ways of tricking your brain in a way, you know? But long story short, after blowing up accounts, I finally reached my $2,000 mark. And then I deposited more money and went about the leveling system. I built up from that 5K up to 10K, 15K, but I would take it in levels. When I would pull in profit, doesn't mean I would up my size as well. I would consistently make profit, the same profit, because it adds up. If I ran into a little hiccup, I would adjust and keep moving. And then once I proved to myself that I can consistently trade that size and I was pulling in profit and keeping it, then I could level up my size to the next level. And it takes a long time to go through that leveling system. It does. Because you have to take your time with it. You can't rush it. You can't. So starting out trading with 100 shares. If you have $1,000 account, trade with 100 shares. Prove to yourself that you can comfortably cut losers. You could take profit and be profitable trading that 100 shares. Once you do that for 2 weeks or a month straight, level up to 200 shares. Then that first week you're trading 200 shares. If you are not profitable or if you're not comfortable trading that 200 shares, you have to go back to the 100 shares. Makes sense? That's the way I went about it. And always lock in profits. Always lock in profits. I get questions sometimes from a couple of you guys, like in the pre-market prep with you guys. We'll do our rundown of the watch list. And I'll say, all right, I'd want to see the stock hold 650. If it can hold 650, this thing could run up to $7.50, $8. Doesn't mean I'm holding onto it for that whole move. If anything, I'm taking just a small little slice of the pie out of that whole move. My goal is to lock in profits, not be a greedy pig and try to take the whole pie. Everybody's different too, you know? The leveling up. You're not going to see I didn't learn that from anybody. I developed that myself. And if you go into the Discord for you guys, I'll know if you go. I tell anytime any of you guys sign up and you become a member, I send all of you guys the same message. Make sure you go through all the channels in this server. You may be surprised what I have in here. And you really will if you look around. And just because we're on the topic, right there, leveling up. You click on that, I got ideas in there and systems in place of leveling up in your trading. All these different channels in here, all of these channels are everything that's in them. I personally added to these channels. I found value and knowledge in the material, and I thought it was worth putting into these channels. And this isn't just something I threw together. I've been adding to all of these channels for years. Chart patterns. We're going all the way back. All the way back. Let's see how long I've been posting in here for. Still scrolling up, still scrolling up, still scrolling all the way to the top here. October 29th of 2018. So 3.5, 4 years I've been adding material to this server. And I'm still every day adding something new in here. Always. Trading psychology. Everything related to trading psychology that I myself found valuable. Look at, I'm even from books that I personally am reading. I'm taking pictures and posting in here for you guys. So I'm laying out all the tools and guiding you guys. You just have to put the work in. You have to put that work in. You have to. And those of you, I know the ones that are putting in the work, just how they interact with each other and with the chat. I can really tell those who are growing and then those that are just, they ain't going anywhere. Because if you're studying, your trading will show. If you're not studying, your trading will show. 90% of people lose in this game, guys. Remember that. 90% of people fail trying to learn this game. 90%, that's a huge number. Doesn't mean it's achievable. It's not achievable. It's achievable. You just have to obsess over this and work your butt off. Same reason DNA Investments just posted something. How long does it take a doctor to get a degree before he even does surgery on a patient? About 5 years of studying in college. before they're able to do that profession? How long has it taken lawyer to pass that bar exam and become a lawyer? How long does it take how long does it take an NFL player to get drafted in the NFL? They have to go their whole life, their whole childhood training, competing, improving to get better and better and better to have a chance at getting drafted. They have to go through the little league system, their middle school, high school. They got to get recruited by a college. They have to stand out of all them players, out of all the colleges and the teams, and they get drafted #1 overall. And that's when they get that big payday, that big sign-in bonus. You consider yourself an athlete. I'm telling you guys, it's a lot of hard work, but it's so worth it, guys. I'm telling you. I do this full time. I'm sitting here in my PJs and I'm doing what I love. I love doing this stuff. I'm my own boss. And I got to this level because I didn't give up. I sacrificed time. I worked a 60-hour work week. Did the stock market. I woke up every single day and showed up. Put that screen time in. Even when I would blow up accounts, I wouldn't even want to show up the next day. I didn't. It just killed me. Now I got to start over. I got to deposit more money into my brokerage. But I stuck with it and I kept going. Then once you start seeing that light and that the possibilities are endless and what you can achieve, and you start building that bankroll and paying off all your debt with your trading profits, you got a bankroll going, and then you won't even want to go to your job no more because you're like, I'm making more money in the stock market. I mean, going to this job, it's a waste of my time. And then you'll start losing that desire. Like, why am I going to work 8 hours of hard labor to make a couple $100 when I just made $500 in half an hour? And then you're going to get into that thinking, but there's nothing wrong with that thinking. You're reaching for success, you're growing, you're branching out. You guys can do it. You can. But chances are a lot of people quit. Then they grow older. Then they say, what if? What if I actually tried? Yeah, the leveling up system. Give it a try, guys. It works, I'm telling you. That's how I did it. But you got to take it responsibly though. Replace it with the paper trading. There are people out there that say do paper trading. I never really got the idea of paper trading because no matter how hard you tell yourself you're going to take it seriously and it's real money, deep down inside you know it's not real. So you're not going to take it seriously. The ball is in our court now. There's free commissions. You can open a retail broker with as little as a couple $100. It costs $0 to trade. You can buy 1 share for free. So why not practice with your real money, only buying 1 share? You're getting comfortable, you know? It just makes sense. Alright, guys, I'm about done. Get a good night's rest, guys. Reset that mind. I'll see you guys in the Monday chat. Be prepared for a great week ahead. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and go through my video library. I have over 500 videos on my YouTube channel filled with great content. If you liked this video, you'll love all my other videos. I don't know why, but YouTube restricts me. A lot of people find me through Street Smart Edge, and YouTube likes to constrict me to that area. I don't know why. You're right on the money with that, Nick. Paper trading is not helpful. You need the emotion of real trading. Hey, I appreciate all you guys too. Thanks for tuning in every video and supporting. It means a lot. Yeah, you guys get a good night's rest. Reset that mind and let's get prepared for Money Monday. And then before we go out, we gotta post the Money Monday. Get ready. It's a new day, new week. New week filled with opportunity, guys. Let's be out there. Let's have that patience and that discipline to wait for opportunity to come to us. Don't be like that Facebook post. We're not out here buying lottery tickets. We're out here taking that dude's money, right? And mommy and daddy can refund that account. Alright, guys. Like I always say, have that